Good day, goeiedag, molweni. My name is Wikus van Niekerk and I am the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering. What is engineering all about? Engineering is all about turning ideas into reality, to apply science to the common purpose of life, and most importantly, to improve the quality of life and develop the economy of South Africa. We have at Stellenbosch University a number of different disciplines. The first program we have is in mechanical engineering. Mechanical engineering deals with aeronautics, automation, biomedical engineering, and then, as we are all concerned these days, with conventional and renewable engineering and vehicles. We also have mechatronic engineering. Mechatronic engineering is a combination of precision mechanical engineering, electronics and computer systems. And a good example of a mechatronic system is a robot, as the one that you can see on the screen. We also have civil engineering at Stellenbosch University. Civil engineers deal with big structures like bridges, buildings, dams and water articulation, infrastructure, and then with roads and transport. We also have chemical engineering. Chemical engineers deal with environmental engineering, bioprocessing engineering, for instance, biofuels, vaccines, and food, etc. Also chemical synthesis and separation, process design and operation, metallurgical extraction, where, for instance, you would take pure metals from ore. Then we have industrial engineering. Industrial engineers deal with manufacturing systems, such as factories, process design, which will include the processes, for instance, in a bank, robotics, and rapid product development. And then we have electrical and electronic engineering. Electrical engineers deal with energy. They also deal with robotics, informatics, telecommunication, as well as data science. So we have a new program at Stellenbosch University that focuses on data science. We call it a Bachelor's of Engineering in Electrical and Electronic Engineering with a focus area in data engineering. We are all aware of the deluge of data, and we need to deal with that, as well as AI that is coming in, and we are training our engineers to be very, very adept to deal with data, data science, and artificial intelligence. Why should you come and study at Stellenbosch University? Hoekom is Stellenbosch Universiteit 'n goeie plek om by te kom studeer? Well, we have a faculty with an excellent reputation for the quality of our teaching, the high success rates. About 75% of the first-year students that we take in eventually graduate with a Bachelor's of Engineering degree at Stellenbosch. Those who don't may still continue and graduate with another degree from Stellenbosch. We have a common first year, except for our data engineering students, which means that after the first year, you can also switch from civil engineering to mechanical engineering if that is what you want to do. We have an excellent reputation on research, and industry supports us quite well, making sure that we are at the forefront of technology and our labs are well equipped. Stellenbosch itself is also a unique university town. The campus is well kept. The student life is exceptional at Stellenbosch University, including our excellent residences, where there's a lot of support for first-year students to be successful in their academics. We also have great sports fields, and we are nestled between the vines, the mountains, and the ocean, which means there are many opportunities for recreational activities outdoors. And then, of course, it's one of the most beautiful parts, not in the country, not on the continent, but actually in the world. If you look at our degrees, you will find that they are fully accredited by ECSA, or the Engineering Council of South Africa. And that means under the Washington Accord, our degrees are recognized worldwide for it's the correct academic qualification to register as a professional engineer, not only in South Africa, but also in the UK, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, and United States of America. And there you can see the different programs that we have at Stellenbosch: chemical engineering, civil engineering, electrical and electronic engineering, with, I said, one option is specializing in data engineering. We've got industrial engineering, and then we've got two different programs, one called mechanical engineering and the other mechatronic engineering. So what is the profile of a typical BEng student? Hoe moet jy weet of jy regtig belangstel in ingenieurswese? So a typical engineering student enjoys being creative, must be very strong in mathematics, must be, have a knack for solving problems, must have a feeling for how things practically work, must be adept to deal with an environment that is constantly changing. You need to work with people, and then of course it is a difficult degree, and therefore you must come to Stellenbosch and be prepared to work hard. So it's not the easiest degree at Stellenbosch, but I would venture it's one of the more rewarding qualifications that you can get at Stellenbosch, with a wide application in the job market. So in order to understand our admission and selection criteria, I will just deal with the following information with you. So firstly, we have a minimum level, and that is what we call our admission requirements, and those will be highlighted in gold. And then, because we are such a popular faculty at the moment, we have a selection requirements which are higher than our admission requirements, and these are varied by programs. So for instance, mechanical and mechatronic engineering are very popular at this time, so they have a higher selection score, while it's a little bit easier to get into civil, industrial, and electrical and electronic engineering. When you apply to Stellenbosch for an engineering program, we will use your grade 11 marks for provisional admission, but final admission is based on the grade 12 marks. So if you look at this slide here, you will see that for the mainstream program, our 4-year program, our admission requirement is that you must have at least 70% for mathematics. Oh, sorry, you must have at least 70% average in matric. But as far as the selection is concerned, we normally only take in students who have an average of 75 and in some programs 80% or higher. At the same time, you need at least 70% for mathematics for admission, but the selection criteria typically looks at people with 75% and more for mathematics. Physical science, you need 60% for admission, but again, the selection score is higher. The way that we work out our selection score is that we take your average of your 6 best subjects in grade 11, excluding life orientation. We multiply that by 6, and then we add again the mathematics and the physical science mark, and that's how we get to our selection score. We also have at Stellenbosch an extended degree program, so this is specifically aimed at learners who are studying currently under difficult circumstances. The schools may not be all that great, or the living environment might not be all that great. It's a 5-year program where the first year is a bridging year, and then in your second year you go into the normal 4-year Bachelor's of Engineering program. We treat you as a normal student in the sense that you can stay in residence, and you can see the admission scores there is 60% for the average, 60% for mathematics, and 50% for physical science. And of course, for both these programs, you need to be proficient in English. So as I said, the selection criteria, we take your average multiplied by 6. We add the mathematics and the physical science mark again, so that gives you a maximum of 800. So typically, if you have a selection score of 600 to 650, you will be selected for your program. Sometimes you'll be selected immediately, especially if you go for the programs with a lower admission threshold. And sometimes we will tell you that you'll be on the waiting list if you are below the current admission threshold, but we still think that there might be spaces opening up at a later time. I think what's very important also is to note that we do not require IT or computer programming at school. When you come here, we assume that you cannot program. We will teach you how to program. And similarly, you do not need engineering graphic design or EGD at school. We have technical drawing for all our programs in the first year, and we assume that you did not have EGD at school when we start teaching you how to draw at Stellenbosch University. Another question that we frequently get is the language of tuition. Ons word dikwels gevra, wat is die onderrigtaal by die Universiteit van Stellenbosch? Ons is akkommoderend vir Afrikaans sprekende studente, deurdat in die eerste jaar het ons parallelle groepe, ons het Afrikaanse groepe en Engelse groepe. But then from the second year onwards, we slowly move into a parallel medium for the large classes, but then switch over to mainly English, in where the classes get smaller. And then in the third and the fourth year, all lectures are in English. What's also important is that you are allowed to write all tests and exams in Afrikaans and English. Up to the third year, we actually set the papers in both languages. And then in the final year, if you ask for a paper to be set in Afrikaans as well, then we can do it. What's very important for our English learners is that if you come to Stellenbosch, it's a 100% English offering from the first year right through to the final year. There's no requirement at all for any engineering student in Stellenbosch to speak or understand Afrikaans. It's a 100% English offering is available in parallel to the initial offering that is also available in Afrikaans. So, what are the main takeaways from this presentation? Firstly, I would venture that Stellenbosch Engineering is a world-class engineering faculty and definitely one of the top 3 engineering faculties in South Africa. The language of instruction at Stellenbosch in the Faculty of Engineering is no longer an issue, so anybody who felt excluded because of Afrikaans are more than welcome to come and join us at Stellenbosch to study engineering. Stellenbosch opens the door to many opportunities, right? Including working with industry. You can continue with postgraduate studies. We have international travel opportunities and exposures where, for instance, if you are finished at the end of your third year and you have passed all the modules up to third year, you can take a year off and either go work in industry in South Africa or go study abroad as well, and there are programs which we have partner universities all over the world. So Stellenbosch University definitely offers a very unique student experience. It's a safe environment, it's a high quality environment, it's an environment where we would welcome you to come and study engineering at Stellenbosch University next year. Thank you very much. Baie dankie dat u na hierdie aanbieding geluister het. As u enige verder vrae het, sal daar inligting beskikbaar wees op die webwerf of ander plekke waar u met ons interaksie kan hê. You're more than welcome to contact us. You will find the contact information in many places on this website and other websites. And of course, don't forget our in-person open day next year. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.